watching you people. Watch them collapsing.
It's time to dismantle female privilege for good. After the Chev Evans fiasco in the UK, we now need to ignore the likes of MP Harriet Airhead Harman and begin fully investigating the sexual history of any female accusing any male of rape or sexual assault. The days need to be gone where a man needs to prove his innocence. We need a judicial system that will also force the accuser to prove the accusation. In today's savvy era, it's disgraceful for a female to just be believed. I demand the law do better for men. Rape should not be an easy thing to report. We need to stop the habits of females who just give in to sex believing they can report it later. If a female gives in to a man pestering her for sex and reports him for rape afterwards, he has not committed a crime. She has for falsely reporting him for rape. If something so grave and abhorrent as a false rape conviction and prison sentence can happen to a famous British football player, we can only imagine how many innocent men languish in prison because of deceitful women and lazy police officers. 60% of tax revenue is paid by males. Why are the interests of innocent men not being placed above those of dishonest women? It's now time to assume that both victim and accused are lying until the truth has been discovered. The law should not be concerned about the victim's feelings. We have court-appointed counselors who can help the victims get over the trauma of being investigated sexually. The law should preoccupy itself with protecting innocent men accused falsely of sex crimes. Harriet Harman wants to concentrate on the crime itself. We want her to concentrate on why the supposed crime was committed and how to stop the same crimes in the future. As we are reading very frequently about cases of false sexual assault allegations, I think it's time we force government and police to investigate the sexual history of women for examples of repeated inappropriate sexual behavior. If a slag regularly wakes up in a hotel room, not remembering how she got there or who she was with, should this not be discovered and presented in the courts to protect a man accused of raping this woman in a hotel room and her not remembering anything? Why should any man be punished for the sloppy behavior of a sexually promiscuous woman and police who can't be bothered to investigate properly to ensure these men are innocent? Feminism says that false sexual assault reports are collateral damage if it keeps the issue of sexual assault in the public eye. That the odd man in prison unjustly makes up for all the rapists that got away with it. Men don't get away with rape and sexual assault. If they are not in prison for it, it means whatever incident happened wasn't that big of a deal except in the accuser's own head. If a female claims to be raped more than once, why are we not questioning what the female is doing wrong? I mean, like, how many women get raped? I've never met a woman who's been raped. Why are we not examining female behavior that leads up to these assaults and stop crime that way instead of trying to stop crime after it's been triggered? Footballer Ched Evans would never have been found guilty of rape had police and government properly investigated the reputation of a drunken slag fully. Just as there is supposed to be nothing wrong with a woman being a slag, there is also nothing wrong with a man being a pervert. I stood in defense of Ched Evans in front of 50 of the most influential men and women in men's rights in Bath, UK last year, when they all branded him as a pervert to be ostracized even though he was found totally innocent. I stood up and I said, "Excuse me, I'm a pervert, and I see all of you sitting in a room here discussing everything with me and having absolutely no problems relating with me, and why should this person be looked at differently?" And I said to them, there isn't one of you in this room, one of you men, that would have turned down the opportunity of jumping in on a gangbang on some slag that was up for it. And any of you who would have turned it down, I would actually question what you're actually like. No man should be judged over kinks, just as no female should be judged over her past. But if her past is her present and her future, and his kinks are not his crime, then why should men pay the price for the regret of sexually loose women? A woman who lies about sexual assault does so, 1, to hide infidelity, 2, to get rid of work competition rejected romance, 3, is embarrassed and regrets an encounter, 4, drops out of university or some other institution, 5, can't remember what happened because she was drunk, 6 wants revenge on a man. 7 is a serial rape fantasist. Or 8 wanted sympathy from a guy she had a crush on. None of these are particularly punished by law. A man who lies about sexually assaulting a woman does so to not go to prison and have his life destroyed. This is always severely punished by law. As a gay man, I've not been placed on this earth to protect females and their reputation. All females need to be held accountable for their own actions and behavior. No man should ever suffer because of the lies of a woman. It's time females are held responsible for the signals they send out. It's about time we stopped listening to the victims and started listening to the criminals. If we want to stop sexual assault and violence against women, we need to remove the trigger. Criminals go to jail, period. But we need to listen to their motives and triggers. When we know what triggers them, we will know how to modify female behavior to stop them from being triggered into abusing them. Provocative clothing in inappropriate places. Inappropriate sexual behavior. Scents. Beauty makeup. Dark outdoor spaces. Being a horrible bitch. Getting into bed naked with a man. Drinking too much and being a floozy. Making poor choices. These are common triggers. Remove them and watch sexual crime plummet. We need to evaluate who the victim truly is. If the head of the Department for Domestic Violence in the UK says her male partner at the time drove her to smash a painting over his head after years of abuse, why shouldn't it be a valid excuse for males as well? Why are males not forcing the courts to view this double standard and either apply it to both sexes or remove it for both? I'm a homo. If I hit a female, it's not domestic assault, it's not sexual assault, it's a bitch getting what she asked for after pissing me off so much. Few men are violent. Stop making us hit you. Most domestic assault is initiated by the female. Most females are injured by their partners because she hit him first. Modify female behavior and domestic abuse will plummet. I've never known a male to just hit a female. I've seen countless females hit men. Females need to be conditioned to not drive men to violence. Females are the natural nurturers and caregivers they claim. Yet they are more likely to torture and abuse other people's children and are the number one killers of their own. Should females not be punished more harshly than a man, as she has truly shown how much of a danger she is to children by rejecting her natural role as caregiver and maker of life? Should all men not watch closely for signs of their children being abused? We know that females will easily kill their unborn children. Why would we not assume that they would do it to their live ones? A male is responsible to protect his female and encourage her in life, as she is his chance of successfully passing on his DNA. A male is not responsible for protecting women, as women are fully protected by the police. Males do not need to encourage women, as males have no vested interest in women. Males have enough to do other than massage the fragile female ego on a constant basis. We need to beat it out of males that all females need our protection. Protect your own female and not females in general. As a gay man, there's no way I'm coming to the defense or to encourage females, as I would never have sex with them and therefore have no vested interest in their well-being or career satisfaction. And now that we have to deal with the fat acceptance movement and female empowerment, these women weigh upward of 300 pounds and are much stronger than the average male. This huge increase in female strength due to the physicality of carrying such weight and the enormity of the weight itself has caused these females to have huge muscles and incredible strength. This factor needs to be taken into consideration in law. Just because females are generally shorter than a man doesn't mean they're terribly weaker anymore. Should a male in a position of power be accused of abusing his power if the person supposedly being abused desperately wants something tangible from him? Should a man be accused of abuse just because the person didn't get what they were after? Had any of the females accusing Bill Cosby profited from the supposed encounters come forward with claims? Are you being drugged if you're offered drugs and you accept them? Is it worth taking a man to court because he ruined your first kiss? There was a story in the press here in the UK a few years ago about a DJ from the 80s, 90s called DJ Fox. and a woman had taken him to court because as he was performing one of his gigs and he was leaving the stage, a girl was desperately getting his attention, waving at him. "Give us a snog, Foxy," is what she says. And he grabbed her and gave her a very forceful, deep kiss, and then just walked away. And because he just walked away and didn't even look back, she felt that she'd done something wrong, and she felt that he should be legally punished for ruining what should have been the most pleasurable experience of her life, which was her first kiss. And what kind of a fucking bullshit. Thank God he got found guilty, found innocent, and it got thrown out. What kind of fucking bullshit. These fucking idiots think that they can actually put men through this type of garbage because of this female fantasy that the first kiss is the most important thing that they're ever going to go through in life. And then a man should go to fucking court and prison for it because it didn't turn out to be exactly what she wanted and expected. And now we're also seeing television clearly condoning females' lies about men, even if it means sending these men off to their death. Watch episode 2 of season 4 of The Strain, and watch Miranda manipulate a poor male and eventually lie and send him off to his death. I was fucking livid when I saw it. This is the message being sent out to females? If it means if you feel empowered, then destroy any male in your way. I could list countless films, including a few from that idiot Emma Watson, that perpetuate the acceptance of using lies and threats to force men to do their bidding. It's a disgusting message to send out, and it needs to stop now. In the savvy, sexually aware society we now live in, if a female washes before reporting a rape, she should be automatically disbelieved. Everyone knows how important rape evidence is, and if it takes a few days for a female to report a rape and she has no evidence of it, it probably didn't happen, and she should be fully investigated before arresting an innocent man. Once a man has been arrested for sexual assault, his life is ruined. I think it's far more important to protect that man than to protect any female's reputation. Too many men are having their lives ruined because of fucked-in-the-head women. It's about time the other half of the planet stood up for ourselves and held females responsible for their own mistakes.
Walk like a man, talk like a man, walk like a man, my son. No woman's worth crawling on the earth, so walk like a man, my son.
If you like what we have to say, please support us by visiting our shop at Redbubble, where you can find a large array of merchandise with anti-feminist slogans. This range here with famous feminists who are baby killers. Thank you very much, and please follow us, subscribe in the links below.